positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. This simulation that we're living in, I don't know how many of you out there see the glitches, but it's become more evident as we go forward and AI becomes more advanced, just in how you see the manipulation of mainstream media and the gaslighting going on, and just the perception of how the manipulation is played out with emotions and skin color. I try to avoid a lot of the political stuff because I know that people that run these platforms have their own political agenda, but to think that the Black population in America base everything off emotion and skin color is saying a lot about how those who control the media look at the Black populace. They must not think that Black people are that intelligent and that they can utilize those things to sway opinion. At the end of the day, I don't care if you're Black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're Indian. What are you doing? What is your policies? What's your plan? What's your solution? Let's look at your track record. If your track record is shit, you don't deserve the support of the community.
Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less.
Plain and simple. It's not about, whether you're Black, Indian, Irish. What is your track record? What is your plan? What's your solutions? Let's stop trying to sway people off of emotion and let's talk about get it done. I've had a lot of interaction with a lot of different people, various races, in hostile environments, non-hostile environments. And, the more intelligent an individual is, the less they're swayed by emotion. And where these people who run a lot of these major platforms are actually playing themselves is thinking that the majority of the Black population is not that intelligent. They'll, have a grimy rapper at one of their events thinking this is the Black community, or, a woman that they think represents the Black community because she has a bunch of followers, but she's nothing like what you want your mom to be or your grandma to be. And they laugh because they think that, yeah, we are giving them what they want, but that's not what the Black people want. That's not what America wants. At the end of the day, we want great communities. We want no crime. We want a place where our kids can be safe. And we're not trying to walk around and worry about overdoses all throughout the community. There's got to be things that we could talk about without getting emotionally riled up and calling each other names, but being able to say, you know what, no, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense, or I understand where you're coming from. You want to vilify or polarize one group, but you can do no wrong to other group. Doesn't work like that. You know, if you call names, expect to be called names back. I don't know of anybody I've talked to who lives in a nice community that doesn't want to have police protection. Knowing that you call the police, it's not going to take them 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get there for something that is happening. And you see instances, where there are some police out there who need to go back into more training, who have some issues. But I've seen some dudes in the neighborhood who are preying on people who have some issues, who need to go to jail. It's two sides to everything. It's not, it's funny when I hear, especially when I hear some of the people, especially in entertainment, who say things about certain circumstances, but they say nothing about the crime in their community. They say nothing about the violence in their community. As long as it didn't affect them, or if they have the people to neutralize it, they don't care. And that's not how things should work, because there are a lot of people who don't have private security. There are people who maybe come home late at night by themselves, the women who have to go pick their kids up, and they don't want to deal with a distraught ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, or some abductor, or some person who's a stalker. They don't want to have to deal with that, so they want to have to, they want to have somebody they can call to protect them. This divide, man, this racial divide, and voting because you're emotionally charged up by a person's skin color. I would never vote for somebody for their skin color.
This problem with inflation.
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously.
And I know a lot of people that look like me that would never vote for somebody for the skin color. They would vote for somebody they feel represents their values. And to all our ex-military and our military, when you're looking at your benefits and what you've lived through, especially the ones who are dealing with the VA, trying to get subsidies or get some type of medical, and then you see people coming across the border who they're not showing any COVID, they're not showing any tuberculosis, they're not showing anything, they're not going through and passing any tests, and they're just flooding our country. And you see them getting all the benefits, sex changes, free college education, free medical. You should be speaking up. You should be a voice of America. If you're seeing what's going on in England, you're seeing what's going on in France, and I don't know how much of that could possibly be AI, but it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. And I know someone who's actually personally been to the border, and they tell me, like, working over there, what they've seen, and dude, it's out of control. And they're not getting searched like they're going through TSA. You know how much drugs is coming across the border right now? You know how many kids are being human trafficked right now? Let me ask you, who is the border czar? Who the border czar? What have they done? And why do we always have somebody blaming somebody else? When is the accountability? It's like somebody, I've seen somebody made a comment about the crime, and then when this person got arrested, they got 30 years for robbery, and they're like, that's extreme. Well, how many times do you have to rob to learn your lesson? And why are you using a gun to rob somebody? Then did you think that you were only going to get 10 days, a year? It's the mentality right now. And I'm an ex-criminal. I've been in the system. Every time I got handcuffs put on me, I went to jail. I didn't come home. There was no, I went to jail and I had to sit there for a while. And I had to learn my lesson. But the accountability in this country from the criminal who's running around thinking it's a free-for-all and then complaining when they get caught for what they got caught for, not saying all the other stuff they did, on top of the politicians who are out here just gaslighting, telling us whatever we want to hear, and still doing what they want to do. Man, there's got to be something that swings the other way to change all this, and accountability has to be brought into the equation. And we got to get out of our emotions, and we got to get off the skin color shit. We have to stop trying to use words like, oh, you're prejudiced because you question me. You're racist because you're saying, no, what are you doing? What have you done? What are your plans? I don't care if you're the mayor. I don't care if you're running for president. I don't care if you're running for city commissioner. Don't play off my black skin, man. We're not that stupid. You might think some of us buy that shit, and you could bring in some, drill rapper or some woman shaking her ass twerking, and we're gonna be bobbing our heads and get the vote. We're not all like that, man. We're not all like that. And you can't use the female card. Don't try to use that. Don't try to play us with the sympathy. We're not all like that. We don't buy into that. And to think that that's a way for us to be manipulated and then continue to destroy the communities? Come on, man. When the money runs out for the immigrants who are living in these hotels or wherever you got them apartments, and then you're pulling, what about the people here that need the resources? What about the trades in the community here for the kids who are aspiring to get into the job force? What are you doing for them? There, it's crazy how this simulation, it keeps trying to reset itself, and until they get what they want, they won't stop. Try this, try that, try this, try that. If that don't work, okay, create a war. And then they'll have to do what we tell them to do, because we're at war. People, what do you think? And I hate to always say Black America, but Black America, what do you think? Are you buying it? I mean, is your pocketbooks right now, are they fat? Are they doing what you want to do? I mean, yeah, if you hustling, you doing what you're doing in a gray area, whatever. But for the working class, the 9-to-5 paying taxes, the person who ain't in the streets, the person who's trying to take care of their family right now, how's your pocketbooks doing, man? How is crime in your neighborhood? I know somebody in San Francisco, their car in 6 months has been broken into 4 times, and there's poop on the sidewalks daily. And there's overdoses, dead bodies on the sidewalks daily. And you have a person who's the governor, living on wine vineyards, entertaining whoever and acting like it's no big thing, and then the focus is kids could change their pronouns at school. You're worried about a kid changing their pronouns at school and their sex at school, but you're not concerned with the crime and the filth. This shit is backwards, man. This shit is backwards. I feel like it's almost like we're living in Bizarro Land, that Batman cartoon where it was just crime and pillage and everything's backwards and nobody's saying nothing. If you say something, you're canceled, or you're considered non-woke, or you're an enemy because you're speaking out. So keep your head down. As long as you're able to put a roof over your head and you're not robbed, it's okay. But if you speak out, then you're an enemy of the state. What has this become, man? I've never seen this, man. I've never seen so much just separation, lack of conversation, and then when you do start talking, it becomes racial. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your opinions, man. And as a human being living in America, in this world, but as quote unquote, because they, somebody of color, and like I said, I talk to all kinds of people, and I don't ever, hey, you're a white guy. Nice to meet you, white guy. Hey, I'm a black guy. I just talk to people, man. I talk to people. We don't get into, usually political discussions, but one thing, everybody has in common is they don't want crime. They don't want their kids on drugs. They want people to be people, kids to be kids. They want to be able to go to a job, have some type of job security, have stability, not have to worry about, the safety of their family. These are common things, man. It has nothing to do with, hey, I'm a black guy. I'm a vote for a black guy. I'm a white guy. I'm voting for a white guy. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that, man. Get out your feelings, man. Stop looking at everything as race. It's not race. And the more we talk about it, the more people try to amplify it. But I think it's bullshit. I want to kill the noise, man, because it's all bullshit. The racial is bullshit. Stop using that. Talk about what you can do. What are you capable of? Who are you as a person? How's your family life? What are you doing to help others? Go to BigHerc916.com, pick your submerge, leave a comment. Visit BigHerc916.com to pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster signed. And pick you up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that BigHerc916 has authored. You're coming. I gotta hurry up and wash my ass. Go to BigHerc916.com, pick you up a bar of soap, and wash your ass, or else you're gonna be under arrest too. Oh shit.